Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to look at Super Eyepatch Wolf's influencer courses are garbage, the dark side of content creation. Now, I've actually heard a bit about this on the Trash Taste podcast where he started talking about this, and it was, you know what, I'm going to pause this and just listen to the original source, but I did hear a bit about how he's playing a character that he actually does in wrestling, which apparently he does in person, and it's a complete and utter asshole who fit perfectly into a video about influencer courses. It's a Super Eyepatch Wolf video. I already assumed, by default of seeing everything that's not wrestling, that it's going to be somehow really fucked up. And I have already had that confirmed due to the Trash Taste podcast. So I'm just going to jump into this knowing that it's probably going to make me wish I could punch something in the face. That has happened more than once. I'm looking at you, psychic video. More importantly, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up and let's get started. Toyota Corolla?
Look at you,
what?
Sitting there, staring at your screen.
Oh, it's probably from an ad.
Enduring your drab, simple existence from the sidewalk of life. How does it feel watching people's eyes glaze over when you tell them what you do for a living? Feeling the grains of sand that make up the hourglass that is your life fall away in meaningless grey 8-hour shifts, knowing
this is a pitch, isn't it? He's literally dropping into a pitch of your life is horrible. Do what I say and it'll be awesome. That's exactly where he's going with this, isn't it? Because I can't see anything else of talking about how horrible your life is. It's boring. No one wants this. It's just 8 hours. Also only an hour shift. Wow. But just, if this isn't a pitch of I can make it fix and better, he's going to drop in right now as someone fast talking. I'm assuming that from the thumbnail, and it'll be like, yeah, just rapid fire bullshit. If that doesn't happen, I'd be very surprised. I've seen this kind of pitch style.
Rain falls, nothing you did ever mattered. You never mattered.
Depressing.
My friend, I want to ask you a question.
Do you want to get out? That's going to be the words.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
Leslie Bestington and...
Oh, wow. The Jake Paul energy is strong with this one. And this is only a year ago. So yeah, that's probably intentional. Oh, just wow. It's like the stupid dance done just slow enough to capture and like, oh, the good angles. Oh, I don't just, I know from the Trash Taste vlog, it's a podcast, that he enjoyed doing this because it's so over the top and it was great and fun for him. But I'm just sitting here going like, you know what? If I wasn't absolutely certain you were enjoying this, I would think there's a gun held to your head to make this right now because that is so cheesy. Which is probably the biggest indictment of everything that's coming out. Because this is about influencers and, yeah, the cheese is intentional. This is going to be a painful video. Oh, God.
You already knew that because I am a social media influencer. And because of that, I matter. What does mattering look like?
Oh, God. It's... Oh... I'm sorry. I just everything he just said make me want to actually try and force myself to throw up to distract myself from the overwhelming level of just, I've seen people like this. Oh God. It's like when I said this with Jake Paul energy. No, I think it's actually getting worse. This is like CoffeeZilla would make a video about you energy. Oh God.
Like, how does 1.3 million subscribers sound? And let me tell you, that didn't just happen by accident. In the time that you have been watching this video, I have gained triple-digit followers, burned 400 calories, and even launched my own cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that last one sounds perfectly in line with the kind of person right now. This makes perfect sense, and yeah, crypto scam.
Best coin. Never heard of it? You'll be paying your taxes in it in 2 years.
Yeah, I really doubt that. Also, if someone didn't actually make a best coin, I will be very surprised because in terms of just, hey, here's a stupid thing you should never buy, and then people actually buy, something called best coin is kind of an amazing idea. And if it's done as a joke, it isn't a scam because you literally tell people don't buy this. It's a joke. And then when they do, it's literally on them. Like Dogecoin. except that actually seemed to keep going, and it's weird.
And what of social media generated income? But Leslie, is that really possible?
Yeah, if you're making the channel. Oh, that's the joke. He's not talking about changing your life. He's saying change your life to change his life by taking your money. God, it's like every infomercial, but just with an even more annoying personality. He's doing this too well. And I know for a fact, he said he was enjoying this bit because getting to be that over the top, that much of an asshole was kind of fun. Admittedly, I kind of get that. I just never think to do it when I'm actually doing anything. That's disappointing.
Well, why don't you ask my sports car, my dolphin rodeo, my plane mansion?
Plane mansion? Oh my. I actually have seen these goddamn ads he's talking about. It's that guy's like, yeah, I read books. Here's my Lamborghini. See, you should trust me. It's that literally. It's the type of argument where you show completely unrelated items to give yourself weight. It's like, hey, see, you should listen to me because I have thing you want. Thing you want, good. Listen me, good. Yes. It's bullshit, especially since a lot of those people just have their houses on rent. It's not actually their house. It's literally like, hey, we have this for the shoot. We're doing this now to look great. On the other hand, one of the things people have done is actually 100-year loans on a house. So you're actually just paying a loan off on a really long basis. So that's actually really cheap on a month-to-month. But you can only do that if you have enough capital to make it worthwhile in the first place. So it's kind of a scam. And regardless, yeah, it's actually something businesses do. And a few people have taken advantage of it. But I don't think it's really an option in a lot of places because most banks are like, no, pay us now. Or give us the mortgage now, which is defeating the purpose.
He edited the wives and 17 husbands. None of them even know about each other. This guy used to pick on me.
He's pulling very specific choices there. So the multiple wives and husbands who don't know about each other. I know it's a joke, but at the same time, is it the kind of joke based on someone doing that? You know, it's fucked up enough. It probably did happen. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, yeah, he was specifically referring to, and then you'll just give me an example and it'll be disturbing and I'll have less faith in humanity. Yeah, nothing new there. Just kind of disappointed that it's probably going to happen. Whoever does it in advance, thank you and damn you in equal measure.
In high school, last Thursday, I had his daughter killed. But here's the
thing.
I used to be just like you.
He's literally going the over the top, like literal cabin. What's admittedly though, this is actually a very nice cabin. Very well put together, sturdy, no gaps in the walls, tablecloths, and a very fancy tea set. I'll be honest, no, this is very nice. You actually went away from this.
I didn't matter. Ain't no one cared about old Leslie.
I mean, your name's Leslie,
that's
so.
What led to me creating the Leslie Bestington Golden Path to Success. A tried and tested, proven formula designed to take you to one place.
Every self-help guru ever. I'm sorry. This is actually hurting me right now. It's like the follow my formula. We know he's going to say that next piece. He already started like a way to do it. The path. Just every self-help person like, see, this is how you too become a billionaire. Follow my course. Take my class. Yeah. I knew I want to punch someone. We're already there.
The very top of the 1 million subscriber mountain, and just let that settle on your mind brain. 1 million.
Okay, that even hurts more talking about the mind brain. It's like people who don't realize they're synonyms in that usage, because brain and mind can be different. One is mind, which can be more of an ephemeral thought process, as opposed to the physical mind, which both work as. But then you have the brain, which is the literal physical aspect, but some people confuse mind and brain as being very similar words, but they're also different. And they get context matters here. Mind could be a thought process, your mind, as a way to talk about your soul without saying a word. It could also be the literal brain, but saying both, it's like people who say mouthfeel. No, it's consistency. There is actually a word for that. Mouthfeel is just what people who don't know words say. And then keep saying it because it's a way to troll people that accept it head on, or caught on, and then I just hate everyone. This is the problem being an English major. You might not be able to word well, but it just hurts more when you know other people are wrong. And also due to the English language being based on everyone being wrong consistently enough that it just keeps up, that you're just like, I'm losing this battle. I know it. Wow, this video is actually hurting me in ways I did not expect, on top of the ways I did expect. This is going to be very painful.
In subscribers, all the personal, financial, social, and yes, sexual validation that you could ask for.
Yeah, there are people who have used YouTube channels for that last one, and you hear about them on the news, usually with an arrest warrant.
All delivered through the Leslie Bestington patented...
Wait, what did that say there? Course not actually delivered by Leslie, but licensed subcontractors of the Leslie Bestington Master Course. Master Course lecturers. Course. Because that's how they... Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is how these stupid Master Course classes like, hey, come to my class to see all the value of success. I'm sorry, I've seen so many rip-off presenters and self-help gurus that are just doing this shit. It's not as painful as the psychic video, but I see these and the parallels are direct, and I hate these people with a passion because they're just scams, and everything about this is pain, and I'm not going to be able to finish this video. It's literally going to kill me.
Edutainment user engagement lecture bombs.
Oh God, he actually used the bomb phrase. This is something I've seen a lot of people do. He's like, I got a knowledge bomb to drop on you. It's like, I'm using the cool hip things to say like a bomb, so it's going to explode. You don't know what's going on. But then it's like knowledge, like, wow, you're hit in the face by how awesome I am. Oh God, I hate everything about this because I've seen people do this. I just, it's a fun bit. It's doing it well, but God, if he doesn't just jump in himself soon and talk in his usual, hey, here's what's fucked up voice, I'm just going to have to take a second to go scream in a bag. Or the screen. Maybe the screen. I'll just have to cut that out later, but it's very tempting right now.
Guaranteed to transform you from whatever you are now into a social...
I'll be honest, it looks like a downgrade. No offense, Super Eyepatch Wolf, but damn, the beard on that last guy.
Need any proof? Into a
no, I mean... Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, nice, but... Can we just all admit here, I'm having beard envy? Yeah. Damn lucky guy. Mine just, it starts growing and then it's like, hey, and now time to go hobo. Why it never gets longer? Because it goes full hobo.
A social media megastar. Need any proof? You're looking at it. Want to know what the view is like from the very peak of the 1 million subscriber mountain? Well, I could tell you, but how about you come here and tell me yourself? Total value of the Leslie Bestington Golden Path Online Social Media 1 million subscriber mountain journey master course is at an estimated $4,892. What a steal! But
throwing out bullshit numbers that sound like they're, hey, for 1 million subscribers, you definitely can pay at $4,000, almost $5,000. It's a random bullshit number that does sound high, but not too high for what the number 1 million sounds like. But then he'll say, and here's the discount for just $9.99 or $2.99, $9.99. You can have that same amount. Every goddamn infomercial, just with some scam artist pushing bullshit that desperate people want. It's literally the psychic videos all over again, but to something that I'm actually a part of because I do YouTube shit. This is oh God, this is it's like watching the psychic video he did while saying you're a psychic for fun to your family. Suddenly you just feel dirty. It's like when you're just watching this on your own. Yeah, it's like, ha, that's stupid. I know these kind of idiots. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know these kind of idiots. Ooh, I feel like I need to go just wash. Just like find water and maybe a Brillo pad and just start scraping until the YouTube comes off.
For the next 24 hours, we are going to be selling it at just $400. What are we doing? We're not going to be able to keep it at that price for long. So what are you waiting for?
And what he just did there is actually a marketing technique of false or partially FOMO, because we can't keep it that way for long, but also because it makes people seem like it's a value by throwing out bullshit numbers, dropping it down. Although that is a technique stores do. Coffins, I'm looking at you. And JCPenney. All the stores are like, hey, here's the sale. There's actually laws against that kind of marketing, because if there's never actually a time where the sale isn't on, whatever value they set it at, like $500, $300, That's not actually the price. It's the $20 sale price that's constant, continually, all the time. So they can just say it's a like 500% off sale, when in reality, no, it's like $20. And then they just say it's more because they just create a bullshit markup value. I'm pretty sure, at least in some states, that is actually illegal. But, you know, online hasn't been regulated. So yeah, that shit is exactly going to happen. And it works because people are like, whoa, shit, I have to do this now or I won't get it.
Aren't you sick of being no one? You've endured the rest. Now experience
and you also put in the music too.
Best. The Leslie Bestington Master Course. It's time.
He's too good at this. He's really too good at this. Oh, thank God the bit's over. Super Eyepatch Wolf? Damn you. Why? I know you said this was fun for you, and I can see why. This is fun. Playing the villain is fun. But you do it too well, man. Like, this is actually painful to watch. I mean, it's kind of funny, but also it's so uncomfortable.
I have a problem with social media influencer courses.
Yes.
Influence is a course that you guys can take right now.
This course is kind of revolutionary in a lot of ways.
How to grow your social media platform.
Growing on YouTube. 7 YouTube musts. Anyone who's watching this video can...
Oh, I hate everything about this. I haven't seen these specific ones, but it just the big house, the big cars, you know the style. This one, that's just what I don't know. I just how prevalent are these?
Do the exact same thing.
Hello, my name is John Walsh, and for nearly 7 years now, I have run the YouTube channel Super Eyepatch Wolf. Here is
7 years. Damn. Wow, I didn't realize it was that old.
How I did it. I have no fucking idea.
See, I get that. That is actually how that works. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Honestly, the fact that anyone's here right now, 1, hi, thanks. 2, I don't get it either.
I love this job, and I am very, very lucky to have it.
Yeah, it's fun as hell.
I have one of the best jobs in the entire world, especially...
Okay, let's be honest. It's not the best job in the entire world. That is pillow tester. You were literally there to see how soft the pillow is. And if you do it at a reputable company, the answer is, oh yeah, nice. Followed by kitten petter. Is it a real job? I have no idea, but if it did exist, that would be the best job ever, minus allergies. And even then, I would make the exception because you really are there to pet kittens. Call it therapy animal tester. Yeah, I mean, the downside would be there's always the one that tries to eat you, but I mean, how often? Actually, never mind, it's kittens. That'd probably be half the time. But still, half the time, that would be the best job in the world.
If you ignore the large amount of emotional damage it causes. So,
like every
when
job.
I see people desperate to do this, I can sympathize, depending on what study you go by.
Research proves influencer is one of the most popular careers among children. I've heard that, and it literally pains me. I mean, technically, this is a still more realistic and healthier option than going somewhere like, hey, let's become an athlete. There are a very specific amount of people who can do that because there's only so many positions where influencer, even to a smaller extent, is possible because there's just so many eyes. So it's a more likely and possibly healthy because, I mean, you've seen the CTE scans on some people and it's like, you know what? Yeah, it's probably actually safer. On the other hand, it's a step up, but it's really not a good one. It's like saying, I'm only going to shit myself twice a day uncontrollably. On the one hand, why? On the other hand, it sounds like you're coming for more, so good for you. This just makes me feel uncomfortable. Story of the entire video.
Social media influencer is now between the 4th and 1st most popular.
The job children aspire to as opposed to like actually doing. I phrased this poorly. Yeah.
Children, which has created a very lucrative market
of people taking advantage of it.
Courses claiming that they can teach you how to become a social media influencer. And if you have not
always
figured it out
cheesy.
at this point, I do not think these courses are good and have gone to, honestly, quite ridiculous lengths.
Did he actually go to them?
That. I'm going to be breaking this video into 2.
Oh no. Did he actually go to these courses, show them, videotape them? I hope not. I remember the amount of work he put into the Garfield video. Oh God, Super Eyepatch Wolf, what did you just subject yourself to? If you were anyone else, and I hadn't seen the Garfield video and what you did to get a good sample size of all of the various bullshit in there, I would think he probably like checked one out, saw reviews. Okay, it's good. And that'll be perfectly fine. If you do enough reviews and enough people in aggregate, you can kind of get an idea of how stupid it is. You don't seem like someone who decides to stop halfway. You seem like torture yourself is part of the fun.
Parts. Part 1 is going to be about these courses, why I don't think they work, and how they trick you into making it seem like they do.
Snake oil salesmen.
As distort the reality of what being a content creator doing this actually is. Then, in part 2, I'm going to be delving into the actual realities of being a content creator, based not only on my own experiences, but the 20 plus creators I spoke to for this video.
Ooh, see, I'm on just on a personal level. This is actually fascinating to me because I always like seeing how the process works for different people. My entire process is, this looks interesting. Let's check it out. And, it's fun. Yeah, I basically do it's fun, and other people might like to see my take. Or I don't care other people's take, and I just want to do this, which is actually a lot of the videos I've done, and frankly, I'm fine with that because it's enjoyable. But other people have way different processes. Like whenever you hear Mr. Beast talk about his, it's insane. Like legitimately talking about how he has a breakdown every week. It's legitimately insane. I can't do that. And honestly, I don't think anyone should, him included. But it's crazy that they can keep it up. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Particularly the dark sides of this job that a lot of people, especially these courses, do not want to talk about.
Yeah.
So if you really
it's like winning the lottery.
If
you do, great.
Blow up online, if you want to know what is over 1 million subscriber mountain, I will show you. And so to start, well, there's this anime called Blue Period. Actually, no, you know what? We're not really ready for that. So.
Oh, they're actually going into Blue Period? See, I don't know a lot about that. I heard it's about a painter, but I don't know a lot about it. I just heard it's really good. I need to get into that. I might have to skip. Fuck it. I'll watch it. Spoilers included. I've done that to myself plenty of times. Why not?
This all started a couple of months back. If you follow my excellent Twitter, you'll have seen my thread
people still use Twitter.
I was seeing more and more about these social media influencer courses and how I genuinely think.
Also, I love how every time he says social media influencer courses, the air quotes are strong. And I'm not even sure he's thinking about it. He's just doing it. And I get that. The idea that there's a way to get internet fame is a lie. Never will be. 1,000 different factors, 99% out there. Oh, God. Take anyone who have a crack the YouTube algorithm about it seriously. Unless they're a certain British guy who loves Yorkshire tea. He cracks it, but like literally in ways that if he did it in a few months later, they probably would patch it and then probably ban him for breaking certain things. But that's just specifically him. And yeah, that's just a spiffing man in general who maybe be Brit.
Think that no good can come from someone chasing internet fame, and particularly how ineffective I think these courses were.
Yeah,
now, in truth,
it's literally people paying to get what they want, but not actually getting it.
At the time, I had not actually taken any of these courses, and we'll get into it, but that has changed. See,
So he did take at least one. Please don't tell me he did like 10 or just stop at 10. 10 is too many, but oh God, it's going to be bad, isn't it?
One of the claims that pissed me off the most about these courses was the claim from anyone that they had cracked the online algorithm and knew how to build a social media following. And that's when this appeared on my timeline.
I have cracked the code truly on how to build a community.
Really? Ninja? Really? Oh, yeah. We're going there, aren't we?
Engage with your audience. And of course, obviously, if you do everything right, it can be very lucrative as well.
Yeah, the downside is if you do everything right, you can also literally do nothing because there's a huge aspect to luck and everything. Just start streaming in 30 days. I mean, admittedly, you just need a good camera and a better microphone. You're set. Admittedly, the microphone's literally the most important part. If you have a decent mic, a shit camera can be made up for it. A la this channel. I've seen my previous videos. Hell, even the shit mic was half decent.
I'm Tyler Blevins. You may know me as Ninja. This class is about building and establishing
Is this back when he actually did stuff on Twitch still? I thought he moved to a different platform.
streaming presence, whether you are a gamer or a non-gamer. If I can do this, anyone can do this.
So,
I mean, yes, anyone can do it, but anyone could also fail horribly. That's the downside. Oh, that's probably what he's getting into.
before we get to Ninja's course specifically, I want to explain why I have such a problem with even just the general concept of creators claiming they can teach other people how to become online influencers.
No.
And to do that, I would like to talk about shares.
What?
Also, I'm keeping the hair. Don't be weird about it. Say you decide you
I mean, it kind of fits. I saw him on Trash Taste with it. Apparently, he kept it for over a year. Hey, good for you, man.
want to become a carpenter, and particularly how to build a nice chair. Think about the kind of person you would want to learn that skill from.
Oh, so it's kind of like the apprenticeship method is what people think, but the difference is for making a nice chair, you could actually learn concrete methods and practices, where on YouTube, you don't do that because so much of it is beyond just, or not even just YouTube, but social media in general. There's so much more to it than just, hey, do you have the lighting right? Do you have the mic, the camera, the setup right? Because there's actually a lot of personality aspects, talking aspects, finding the right niche community, getting lucky. Yeah.
Would it be from someone who has built nice chairs every day for 20 years? Or would it be the guy who built one nice chair 5 years ago out of a special kind of wood that doesn't exist anymore? Who has...
So it's the difference between someone whose job it is to do good jobs and does it consistently, or the one-hit wonder. Also, I don't know why, but the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking, this guy's in New Jersey. I don't know why. It's probably the hoodie. Either that or the finger guns. Could go either way.
Has no experience with the kind of wood available to you now. Well, here's the problem with online influencer courses.
It's the guy
It
who
is
got
a
lucky,
field
not the one who
where
actually
that
knows what they're
first
doing.
guy does not exist, only the second. Anyone consider...
Oh. Technically, that kind of thing does exist, but that's not really in the social media sphere. It's more of the day-to-day talk show host presenter sphere because of the overlap of how people would have a constant presence online, or, I mean, I guess it's online now. A lot of those shows have moved there sometimes, but just that in your face, here is me on camera constantly. There's enough overlap now, and sometimes even production quality, that is the pretty accurate comparison point. But that's so recent, it doesn't really feel like it should be a comparison point. So I get where he's going, though.
Considered a social media influencer has achieved a degree of fame, but the problem is that they've done it precisely once, and likely under a specific set of conditions that were unique to the...
Wait, was that Ninja? Holy shit.
Precisely once, and likely under a specific set of conditions
Yeah.
that were unique to the time period of their rise. So...
What the? Oh, he's dressed as Goku Black. Oh, wow. This is, and then roosters and guns. I don't, what, just, for my own sanity, I'm just going to pretend Super Eyepatch Wolf edited all this on there because, yeah, no, this just gets way too cringy.
So, for example, if I was to give you the most sincere advice I could on how to blow up online,
Have fun.
I would tell you to create long-form video essays on shonen anime and then post them to the internet 7 years ago. I have no experience on starting a following in 2022,
And the crazy part is that makes sense because he's talking about how it's very much right now, right in your face, as opposed to back then when it was exactly the type of content it does well in. And his content has gradually and drastically changed into a very different format, although he still does a lot of anime stuff, and I just need to watch more of that. And he's talking about himself in the sense that this is how he succeeded and started up, as opposed to anyone else, because you know what worked for you that one time that started everything. In my case, it was the random video I did that had my camera on where I decided to do something stupid in Destiny, and it was literally the only video on my channel that got views for an entire year. Also, for some reason, people kept watching it. I failed horribly. I also forgot I had a camera most of it, and yeah, it was embarrassing. You know what? I actually realized why people watched it. I may have asked myself, please don't find that video. I probably should just remove it at this point. It's embarrassing. Oh God.
The internet is so different now, with both audience and platform expectation having shifted dramatically, as well as the massively increased competition from the amount of people now creating online content. One of the best analogies I've ever heard is being...
Wait. Eyepatch Wolf Book of Analogies? 1? Neat. 2, I don't know why, it might be the yellow background, but I'm getting... old series I saw, but I can't remember the name of it. Something about a fast-talking Brit who reviewed things. I'm pulling a blank here. I know it. I'm going to be probably really embarrassed when someone in the comments like, oh yeah, it was, and then they'll just say the name. I'm like, yep, that's obvious. I should have figured it out, but it's pulling a blank right now. Kicking myself for that one.
Is being a new creator and posting your content to the internet is like putting a message in a bottle and hurling it into an ocean that is entirely filled with messages in bottles. No matter how talented, funny, or hardworking you are, passion is only as valuable as the opportunity it's paired with. And
although I guess the exception to that would be if you're doing it to get looked at, to get views on it, it's a horrible idea because that's hard to break into unless you already have an audience. If you're doing it because I'm having fun, then you've got exactly what you aim for. It really does help a ton.
The unfortunate truth is that even with all those things, you still need a galactic level of luck to succeed online. Take YouTube. Out of 2.6 billion YouTube accounts, just under 114...
2.6 billion? I think the human race is at like probably 8 or 9 billion people. So a significant percentage of the human species is on YouTube. There are time periods in history within the last 100 years where there are maybe 200 years. I don't actually know what time they exploded. That there were less people on Earth than our current YouTube or just people with channels. Because if you have a YouTube account or a Google account at all, you're immediately given a channel under your name. It just comes with it. So you have a channel just by default. It's just how it goes. Most people don't even know that, and they don't realize they just want to attribute it to them. It's how you can leave comments because then it's attributed to your channel. So it's just weird. And I know that's just how it goes. It's weird. I'm kind of weirded out by it because everyone has one and they don't realize it. It's really awkward.
Million are actively uploading videos. Now,
wow,
not all of them are attempting to become full-time content creators, but it does mean that you are competing with an estimated 500 hours of footage uploaded every single minute.
500 hours per minute. See, on the one hand, that sounds like a lot. On the other hand, this is the kind of thing where I'm just thinking an advertiser, if they could get exactly what they want, is looking at this going, I don't know, it's a lot of space, it's kind of spread out, I'm really not sure what I'm doing. On the other hand, this seems like a massive untapped potential of just so much content to get your message out to if you can exactly identify your niche. There's a personal thought that it looks like there's going to be a revolution in marketing where eventually someone will figure out a way to do this accurately and fast. That's not nearly as creepy as it is right now, where it's highly targeted, but also very subjective. Whenever someone finally cracks the code, it'll be really effective. And until then, I have no idea.
To the point that only 0.1% of channels ever make it past 100,000.
Seriously? Only 0.1%? I guess if you're starting with a significant percentage of the human species, then yeah, making over 100,000 would be a lot. Hell, I'm not there. I mean, might in a couple years, but still. And by the amount of people jumping in, that would actually make it probably a lower percentage by that point. Damn.
Subscribers. And that number is important because it's the very rough benchmark of making a reliable living off YouTube, although I
would not trust
some
it.
enterprising channels do it with far less. Out of those people, only 0.02% of channels ever surpass 1 million subscribers.
On the one hand, it's literally an entire digit less, but that's still such a small drop compared to just who make 100 million. That's just, I knew YouTube was big, but these numbers are just hitting me in the face right now. I literally had no idea about that. Damn.
I don't want to think of any other career path that is actively being marketed to people as a viable option with odds that ridiculously.
Sports. Every single sport is marketed as a viable option to people who don't know better. All the parents are like, that's nice, honey. You won't do it. But every kid would say it's an option because I love sports. I'm going to do it. No. Maybe that's just the area I'm from, but I'm close enough to Ohio where there's certain towns where that is actually a thing you consider. If you know the town I'm talking about, yeah, you don't go there. No. I might just be biased, though, because I do not like playing sports. I fenced. And if you know what that is, you realize how nerdy I am. It probably explains itself from there.
Low. And that goes for all platforms, not just YouTube. In data pulled by Twitter user Zach Boosie, if you have over 6 viewers on Twitch, you are in the top 6.7% of creators on the
Okay, one, I've streamed to Twitch a handful of times. I usually hit about 6. I thought that was pathetic, and now that's a lot? I mean, partially because I haven't streamed in years on Twitch. Yeah, I don't think I've streamed on Twitch in years, so, details. Also, I never do it. I never announce it. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to try it, see what happens, and then forget I'm streaming. I do it to relax, and it's fun. Not good, but it's fun. I thought that'd be a lot lower. That's not good, though.
Platform. If you have over 50,
was it 5 years ago?
You are the top 1%, and that's out of
7.5.
7.5.
Wait, seriously? I just rehosted a few of the live streams I did, or some of the reactions I did a couple years ago to get affiliated, and it was like, yeah, there's a couple hundred people in there, and that's one of the better numbers. I mean, I was stuck in the chat, talked to people. It was really fun. It's kind of like a premiere now, just post, and it's like a watch along for an old reaction. It was actually really fun. I wish YouTube had that feature, just to interact directly with people in a live comment section while something's playing. I really wish we could do that. It really was fun. Why haven't I done that more? Oh yeah, because I never used Twitch. That would do it.
Million accounts, but these courses will never talk about that because it's in their best interest
to let you believe you're the one that succeeds out of every other of the millions.
Of how likely it is to succeed online. The odds of success are so minute on any platform and only getting smaller as those platforms grow. And I think a major problem with a lot of these online courses run by creators is that they don't see that. They see their
success bias. Yeah, because it worked for me, it has to work for everyone, which is not just a problem in YouTube creation. It's literally anyone who ever succeeded who thinks, I did it right here, so obviously I know what I'm talking about, as opposed to shit conspired to just happen to go out of my way due to luck or other people being competent that I wasn't aware of, and the circumstances being right, so you think you're right, and then that's also why there's a lot of bad people in management who are attributed to their own intelligence, but then are complete idiots. I'm not projecting at all right there. There's no multiple companies that I could possibly think about right now that have people in charge who got lucky and then thought it was their own genius, and I really hate them. I didn't. Yeah, it's a good thing I have no experience with that. This is just had to find another way to dig that knife in, huh? Super Eyepatch Wolf just had to find another one. That tea actually did help. I'm glad I brought it with me.
Own success as the default as opposed to the outlier.
Yep.
As a kid, Ninja was so naturally good at video games that his older brothers refused to play with him, a natural ability that evolved.
As someone whose brothers were that good and I sucked, I understand that. I would refuse to play them. Walking into Halo, it's like, hey, try this. And then walk it dead, sniped from out of the map. How'd you get there in 3 seconds? I don't know. Repressing that again.
Evolved into him becoming a professional Halo player.
Oh, it actually was Halo.
Years before Twitch was.
Wait, really?
Twitch.
Oh, he was professional that long.
Using that natural ability to build a following with other shooters.
Oh, and then he moved to
jumping
Fortnite.
Onto Fortnite in late 2017, just as the popularity of that game exploded, taking Ninja with it.
Whoa. So he started Ninja in 2004? And like he had some traction there. That's nothing to shake your stick at. And he fell off a ton, but at the same time, that's obscene. I hope he saved up well because that's a
I'm gonna be talking more about this concept later, but none of this is my attempt to say that Ninja isn't hardworking, talented, or even entertaining.
He got lucky and he used it well,
creator, including myself, are the benefactor of circumstance. But I do think it's disingenuous and irresponsible for any creator to claim they've cracked the code to building an online audience.
Actually, guys, I've cracked the code. The only thing you need to do, win the lottery. Chances are somehow better to win the lottery than this. I mean, it won't be a lot of money in the lottery, but technically you have a better chance. You know, I was going to say that as a joke, and I realized, no, actually, if you set the bar low enough, it is technically accurate. That's depressing. I'm going to stop thinking about this.
And can teach other people to do the same without acknowledging the gargantuan quantities of luck it took to get there.
And he was in the right position at the right time.
Anyone can do this.
I don't think Ninja is a good person to teach you to become a streamer because I don't think that person exists. And to evaluate that statement, I devised a little experiment.
What did he do?
I would stream for 1 week, during which time I would stream whatever I want.
Admittedly, I would be there for that. It'd be kind of fun to watch Super Eyepatch Wolf do it. Also, this is something I just, my own OCD, whenever you have someone who's not looking at what they're playing or reacting to, it bugs me, and everything about this hurts right now. On the other hand, neat. I'd watch him do it. It'd be kind of cool.
Then I would take Ninja's course, after which I would stream for a second week, applying everything I had learned, and then measure for things like follower growth, watch time,
and he'd probably see that nothing changes, and that's why he dyed his hair, isn't it? Because he mentioned that in the Trash Taste special, yeah. You know what? I could see it not actually mattering because he would already have his following, and he has the most important thing when it comes to anything online. You already have a presence. It's actually not even just online marketing that does that. Any type of marketing, anything that revolves around making money by selling something, I'm looking at you, things I actually know for certain that are in the book publishing sphere. You can publish any book if you are already famous. Doesn't matter if it's shit, because people will already know it and buy it because they're curious about you. If you have an amazing book and there's no presence on social media, if you have never sold it, if you don't have anyone who's already just trying to figure out what you did, you are really making an uphill trip there. And it gets harder and harder all the time because it's not easy money. But someone who has a horribly huge audience that are devoted to them will have an easy time because they'll just buy the book. Doesn't matter if it's shit, they'll still buy it. Which is also why things that were fan fiction that were good and got an audience that way, that is actually less judgmental because fan fiction audience who like it, usually like, you know what, it's shit, but it was free, so let's do it. And then drag that into a real book, have a greater way to sell themselves, because as fucked up as it is, they have that audience who already know about them, who think, okay, this is good. As opposed to a new author who never did that, who has to hope that someone finds it and starts talking about it. Or they're great at selling themselves, which is actually what Stephanie Meyer did. Because she really killed a social media presence to get people to know about her book as she was writing it. So when it came out, it was marketable already. So everything he's talking about here isn't just social media. It actually applies to a lot of physical media as well. And it's kind of fascinating and disturbing.
And revenue. And if there was an actual benefit to Ninja's course, I should see that in the numbers between the 2 weeks. In the first week, the Whatever I Want week, I streamed for 14 hours and 27 minutes.
A
My
day?
average view count was 540.
Was that in total or the day? Because in a day, that is depressing and terrifying. I stream for like 2 hours and I'm done. Unless it's a game I really like, and in which case I've gone for 8 hours without realizing it, and then my wife was pissed because I went for 8 hours and I told her we would go out to do stuff, and then it was dark and I was in trouble. Yeah, I'm just remembering why I don't stream. Self-preservation.
I gained 1,523 followers,
Damn.
206 paid subscribers, with an estimated revenue of $515.
Not bad.
For my second week, where I implemented Ninja's
Probably going to be about the same.
I streamed for 1 hour less due to personal obligations, with a total stream time of 13 hours and 35 minutes. An average view count of 463 viewers.
Oh, it dropped?
I gained 1,294 followers, 132 subscriptions, with estimated earnings of $372.
Now, I'm wondering, is that because the initial rush of him streaming was what drew people in immediately, or because his stylistic change was so much? Now, this is actually something I really wish I could see more data on, and hopefully he'll get to that, but I honestly have no idea if he will or not. It could be that this is the initial rush of, oh, cool, he's doing it, let's check it out, followed by, okay, and then to fall off as new shiny is not new shiny anymore. This is actually something you could see whenever releases of, oddly enough, gacha games come out. That first release is huge and popular and one of the most successful financially of anything. There's a lot of gacha games I follow because I'm that kind of idiot. And sometimes they put it out and people cover it. And it's really fascinating to see where the spikes are at the beginning and then they fall off. If anything, this fall off is not anything important. It's actually quite nice. But, you know, that's just in gacha games, and I'm applying it to streaming revenue instead. So it can be completely different. And there'd be so many other factors. And even then, that's not bad.
Even if you adjust for that lost hour, every single one of my metrics were down and pretty significantly in that second week.
I'd almost wish if he had this account going for more than a week and did it over like a 3-month period just for a control, and then waited for a cool-off period, came back maybe another 3 months later for this. But that is an unreasonable amount of time to do another 3-month period after a 3-month wait, after a 3-month period of testing for literally most of the year, and that's completely unreasonable. But it would be a really cool control to see how one to the other worked. But I think he's insane for what he's willing to do. But considering he's going to do other courses beyond ninjas, that would be completely unreasonable.
So what does this tell us about Ninja's
Unless you got other people
course?
to do it.
Well, honestly,
Nothing.
not a lot. I originally wanted to use this section to evaluate Ninja's teachings, but the truth is, you can't really evaluate something that doesn't exist.
Because it's subjective.
See, Ninja's course is broken into 4 main modules, and the first...
Wait, what does that say? Introduction to streaming, establishing your streaming setup and content. Okay, setup is actually really important, and I would gladly hear the tips on, hey, here's my settings, here's the tech I use, here's the kind of cameras and devices, here's why. That is fascinating to me. I love seeing videos where people get into the weeds about the nitty-gritty technical aspects. That's not going to sell this course. So the content is that's so subjective, and no. Your streaming style and routine. Well, that's bullshit because some people are slapdash and it works for them. Other people are very dedicated and it works for them. It really does matter what kind of personality you have and what kind of fan base. Evolving as a streamer and audience interaction. There are some people who don't acknowledge their audience and just do a performance and move on. Then there's others who live to talk to their audience. I'm looking at you, Doug, whose literal content, and admittedly some of the funniest shit, is talking to your chat. Building a brand and collaboration. I hate this last part. That's why I don't do it at all. It involves social interaction. I'm an introvert. No. Conclusion. This was a waste of money.
First is a technical breakdown of streaming.
And that could be cool.
Hardware and software you'll need to start a stream.
Yeah.
And if you're completely new to this section's not bad.
Yeah.
Particularly if terms like OBS, Elgatos, or bitrates are alien.
And God help me, I still need help with this one because I accidentally fuck it up all the time when the system decides, hey, we updated. All of your settings are gone. But we don't tell you which ones, and you have to remember what you set up a year ago. Like, for example, when the camera decides to stop focusing on you. Tech. I does not like it.
To you. It is all information you could find for free and
yes, and paying for it's stupid. But there's a lot of people who do really good information. That's fascinating to watch how their different processes work.
Easily elsewhere, but it's comprehensive and well presented.
Yeah,
however, it's here that the actual
because that's where the hard facts he has that actually matter end, right?
From Ninja's course end. The sections that followed, finding your streaming style, evolving as a streamer, audience interaction and branding, do give some insight into Ninja's particular goofy approach to streaming, which does work for him, but a lot of what's presented here as advice are really just anecdotes that are either too specific to have any real value. Ninja dyeing his hair, putting on a headband, streaming with a plush toy on his head, or how he streamed with Drake, or are so general that most people taking streaming seriously will already be doing it. Stream a lot, play popular games, and upload highlights to other socials.
The highlights to other socials actually is really important, and more if you can get clippers to do it because your content is already popping off and then they can draw people in. So it's extra work, on top of what you do yourself, but it's done by other people who may or may not profit from it. Honestly, I don't really care personally. It's just for some reason the people clipping me are all on TikTok and then taking my face and putting it over reactions to Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it either. But it's happened and multiple people have told me about it and it does freak me out a bit. I'm going to start repressing this again. Moving on.
There are some tips for audience engagement, but even those I have seen disputed by other streamers.
Because it might not work, yeah. It's all subjective.
Try to have the viewer list open at all times so that if you see a brand new person come in, you can just say, hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping in. And
No.
Oh?
Don't you ever, and look at me when I say this, don't you ever fucking do that. People have social anxiety.
And as far as
Yes, I do. It freaks me out. Sometimes if it's someone I know from just, talking to them through various projects, such as someone who I've reacted to a lot and they've contacted me, we've talked a bit in Discord, that's fine. It's like, hey, this is cool. It's like when I drop into the Schmuck Squad streams or the Fat Dog Studio streams, like, hey, what's up, guys? You're doing great. Congratulations on whatever you just recently did. Cool. But also beyond that, social anxiety, man, I get that. It freaks me out. But that's also because I don't do it often, so I can deal with it. Like that social meter of energy isn't depleted yet. I could see why someone doing that wouldn't be there. On the other hand, for his audience, it might work because his audience likes that. They're the kind of people who would self-select to want that kind of interaction, to want to be there for the zany, the stupid, the, hey guys, let's be social. Who has anxiety here? I don't. Let's do stupid shit. Oh, I dye my hair. Yeah. But for someone else, I could see that not working. It really is about audience self-selection here, which is why all the stuff you can advise on isn't going to help.
Maintaining an online following, I really struggle to come up with a single part of this course that constitutes that. So while I can't blame Ninja's course for that drop
it
in
works
numbers,
for Ninja.
It does mean that my only real
That is
change
disturbing.
from the first week to the second was that I played Fortnite, which led to the devastating realization that
You hate Fortnite?
It's actually really fun.
Really? I mean, I played it when it first came out, but also I didn't like the bullet travel time because I can never get it out of my head how that would work. At the time, I was actually half decent at PvP in Destiny, and that should date me because they had PvP in Destiny. If you know what I'm talking about, you're probably also very upset about it. Unlike me, who sucked so much recently that it didn't change anything. Not playing it anymore doesn't change the fact that no one else is either, willingly. But that's my own little bullshit aside. It wasn't bad. Honestly, I kind of wish they had done the PvE mode where you can actually just fight zombies. That sounded fun. And I'm the idiot who kind of wanted the version they put off because no one actually else wanted it.
Oh, that's down.
Damn. Okay.
But
yeah. I could see why watching him stream would be fun just for that moment of. It's adorable and it's actually really neat.
Yeah, in the end, the entire experiment turned out to be a kind of a complete waste of time.
Because he enjoyed it?
Do I think Ninja's course will do anything to help you crack the code of building and maintaining an online following? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a predatory scam? No, I don't really think that either.
And I can see why. If he actually gives the information in the beginning about the setup information, how to do things right, that is important. My own advice of just get a good mic is technically the most important part, unless you're doing just straight gameplay videos without any dialogue, in which case, there actually is an audience who really like that when it comes to especially RPG games where they don't want to see that. They just want to see the story itself. And if you start talking, they will get mad. The few times I've done streams like that, it didn't happen often, but those comments did exist. And honestly, I don't understand them still. I don't get that type of content. I don't make that for that reason. But they exist, and there's an audience for that. But it's also, again, self-selection of audience.
I think it's a pretty okay beginner's introduction to streaming and the technical
But you can also get it
aspects
for
of
free other places, too.
Misadvertised by Ninja as something it isn't. But honestly, at $16, it's whatever. It's
not too bad,
I guess. And that right there, that was the original purpose of this video. I wanted to see if a course like this could actually work.
Wait. Original purpose. So if the original purpose was just say like, it's harmless, it's $16, it's generally good information. If that's what it started with, does that mean what it became? It's the psychic video. That's why I'm thinking about it. I've been told the fake martial arts is the successor to the psychic video, but I'm having distinct flashbacks of, not even flashbacks, a distinct yearning to say that this is the actual successor, or just very spiritually similar.
And not being wholly satisfied, I decided to do something quite silly.
What?
I kept going.
What?
And if you want to see how scummy these courses can get, well... Okay, look, I know Jake Paul did a bad thing is easy territory on YouTube.
Oh no.
But he did!
Okay, I'm cutting this one here. We got to Jake Paul, and you know what? I can't. This is where I'm drawing the line today. I've had enough, all of this bullshit, and having the ninja stuff is like, yeah, it might not be accurate, but at least it's technically helpful on the base level. It's like maybe misadvertised, but it's, you know, it's harmless. It has some good information. It's at least cool to see how his thought process works. I can see that for more information based than anything else. But if we're moving on to Jake Paul, I don't have the energy for that. I just can't. Oh God, no. We'll be here next week when I subject myself to this level of idiocy. I don't even know which idiocy it is, but considering the topic and it's Jake Paul, I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be absolutely annoying. Also, I'm pretty sure his drink Prime is being sued, so I'm not even sure if that came up a year ago for this to be in the video, but it's apparently a thing that happened. Yeah, this one's going to cause pain. So far, not as bad as the psychic video. I was planning to pull hair out to distract myself in that video by this point. So technically, less painful. Progress. Yeah. More importantly, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And I'll see you guys for the next one when I manage to drag myself back to the screen and maybe take enough painkillers to ignore the fact that my throat is killing me. And I've been talking so long that this legitimately is hurting right now. Hopefully a week is enough time for that to go away. That would suck otherwise. Still do it, but I'm an idiot that way. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.